Hello, and welcome to the East Cleveland Public Library Community Conversation. Hope all is well with you and your family. Today, we'll be talking about the art and the dedication that's involved with volunteering in your community or an outside community. And we have a wonderful guest here today. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Miss Marie. How are you?
What's up? I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm wonderful. I'm still breathing.
Yes, that's
So,
always
we
good.
are very grateful. You know?
I'm excited to have you here today because I've been trying to get you here for a while to just share some of the wonderful things that you do in the community. So tell us a little bit about you and then we'll move forward.
Okay. Well, I am Tammy, as you said, and I'm from the Glenville community. I was born and raised right on 105.
Top letters?
No, actually, no, I went to John Hay.
Okay.
I was born and raised all my life on East 99th in Westchester.
Okay.
So I was there all my life, and but I went to John Hay. Half of the street went to John Hay. The other half of the street went to Glenville. So I went to John Hay, and so I do a lot in my community as far as giving back, because I think that's what we're supposed to do. I think we should help each other, share information that will help, because see, that's one of the things we need, information.
Always.
So I get a lot of information. I'm on that social media. I be on Facebook. Now I'm getting on TikTok and Instagram more,
Sharing information.
Yeah, I share information. I get a lot of information. So what I'm going to do with all that information? I share it because I know a lot of people in the nonprofit sector, and they do a lot of things. And a lot of times I find out, like, people tell me, God, I didn't know about that. Or I didn't know they had this program. Or I didn't know about that grant. Or I didn't know about this. I didn't know about that. And I know about a lot of the stuff, so I let people know. Because I think knowledge is power, but you got to do something with that knowledge,
Well, that's good. In other words, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
That's
it's up to us to get out there and make the difference in the community instead of waiting for somebody else to come and give us a handout. Do we have to still do all that we can do?
Yes, we do.
So how long have you been volunteering your services and yourself in communities?
You know what? Actually, I've been volunteering probably all my life.
Oh, wow.
On some level or another. But I'm going to tell you how I really got started. I got started when I had my first child, my daughter Ebony. And, when you had that first child, you go up to school and you're in a PTA and, everything.
Yes.
So I became a parent volunteer, basically. And next thing I know, I was with the National Council, a National Coalition of Title I, Chapter 1 parents.
Wow.
And oh my God, that was this was the Cleveland Public Schools. My daughter was going to Joseph Landis, right on Hamden, off 105. And her kindergarten teacher, her and I were cool. And she asked me would I get involved, because she thought I was, I'm up there all the time and helping doing stuff. So I was about, 26 or something. So yeah, I've been doing this a long time. But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of perks to volunteering. A lot of people think, I ain't no volunteer. Listen, I done been all over this country.
Volunteer
for free.
You go, girl.
Listen, baby. What? Listen. Let me tell you now. Let me tell you, girl. I'll tell y'all. When I was with the National Coalition of Title I, Chapter 1 parents, right? Cleveland Public Schools then, it was called. We had a parent advisory council. So I was on the parent advisory council. And what we did, this was a national organization for Title I, Chapter 1 students, which means basically underserved, communities. And I used to travel every 3 months. They would send me, because we had to plan our national conference.
Okay.
So, I was in this region, which is Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin. And so every 3 months, I was gone somewhere. And then we would have the national conference, which could be in California, New Orleans. Girl, and they fly me out. We stayed in the best hotels. We had our per diem to eat. But I was working. But I had a job where I could take off, and I really took off.
Well, that was really good.
Yeah, I worked at the phone company. I was down there since I was like 18 years old. And so I was able to do what they call furlough.
Okay.
which I don't get paid, but I like to travel. So you know what? I travel so much, I got tired of traveling. But the schools paid for us the airfare, the hotel, our food, the conference, everything, and gave us a per diem. At that time, the per diem might have been like $17, $20 a day. But that covered our lunch, or if we could get a meal, because this has been, 30 years ago.
Correct.
But that's when I began doing volunteerism. So it's a lot of perks, and I met a lot of people. I think my first trip to New Orleans was as a part of this advisory council, and I actually was nominated to be the state of Ohio representative. So I did that 1 year.
Oh, great.
And so that was fun, but I was young and I really, but it was fun. And so as from there, Ms. Berry, I've just been volunteering and helping, in some capacity or other in the communities, especially, like I say, Glenville, because that's where my heart is at, Glenville. I do a lot of stuff in East Cleveland too, you know that.
Yes, you do.
I come over here and do things in East Cleveland. And, I just think we should. I really think that we should give back. Because I feel like I'm blessed, right? I feel like I've been blessed and I want to share the blessings with other people.
Yes.
And then I'm knowledgeable about certain things, and I know how to put things together. And I've been doing this organizing stuff so long.
That's the key. Organizing.
Oh, yeah.
Organizing, strategizing,
Yes.
all of that. And I just want to say to you that your name precedes you. Because I was always hearing when I would be in the community and try to do things Tammy Jackson, Tammy Jackson. Like, who is this Tammy?
Because I'm resourceful.
Yeah. And
I know how to get it.
That's how I developed a relationship with you.
Right.
Googled you, looked you up on Facebook.
We've been talking ever since.
And we've been talking.
I've done several things up here with the library.
Yes.
This is one of the best libraries. I love this library.
Thank you.
I come up here, you guys, man, it's looking beautiful in here. You are very professional in here.
Thank you.
And it's a top flight library. One of the best. And let me tell you something about this library people don't know.
Okay.
This library is, or was, because I don't know if you still have the capacity to do it, but as I had developed this free hygiene supply program and the PPE, I was able to put this library on the list. So
great.
once when the pandemic hit, that was in 2020.
Yes.
My partners asked me, well, who do you want the stuff to go to? So I'm trying to figure out who I want the stuff to go to. So I said I wanted to go to the East Cleveland area. And as a result, East Cleveland Public Library is the only library in the country that does the distribution of hygiene and sanitation supplies. Did you know that?
Oh no, but I did
Y'all are in a magazine. I don't know which one. Ask Mr. Latimer. He knows. Because he the one told me that. I didn't know that either.
Great.
That y'all was the only one in the country that was doing this on a consistent basis, because I think y'all done at least 3 hygiene and distribution drive-through distributions. So that's the project. And I just did another one. I've done like 5 of them over there in Glenville. I did one out in Euclid, and then I didn't have to do them here because y'all was doing it.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is our administration, they are open to ideas, and especially during the pandemic, during this time, that our main goal is to service and support the community in any way we can.
And I think great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
All I had to do was call up here. I talked to Mr. Latimer. We developed a professional relationship actually before, I started doing the distribution. So y'all was the first people I thought about. Because I said, well, East Cleveland really needs these supplies.
Yes.
And you know the kind of supplies y'all was giving away.
Oh, yes.
So,
very nice.
The only library, honey, in the country.
We appreciate you.
I know you do. I appreciate y'all.
It's important that we volunteer and give back and give black and give our time.
That's right.
To help make a difference in the lives of the people that we serve. Now, if you had one word or one sentence that you would like to share with people who may be at home and restless, and we realize that some of you still may be confined to your homes, but hopefully when you decide to get out, you may want to make a difference volunteering. So where, could you give us some advice on maybe how to start or what type of things you should think about when it comes to volunteering in your community and expanding out, or how a person would get started?
Well, you know what? I look at it as community service or also civic engagement.
I like that.
You know, and I think, and I'm going to say our community, which is typically underserved,
Yes.
African American, Black, Brown, or poor communities, need to get more involved and civically engaged.
Okay.
So that we know what's going on.
So then you're saying the two go hand in hand, basically.
We have to do that. And I also think we need to have a passion for things.
Uh-oh.
Like if you have a passion for something, that's when you want to start volunteering. Like I told you, I've been volunteering since I was in my 20s.
P for passion. Huh?
That's right.
I got you.
Because I'm going to tell you, I've benefited. The people I know, I'm gonna tell you, I know a lot of people. A lot of these people I've learned because I'm always helping people.
Yes.
And they call on me. They say, "Tammy, she'll help us," or "Tammy can do this," or they'll hook me up, or whatever. And now I'm doing some major projects.
Big projects.
Big
Yes.
projects. You know.
Yeah.
And it started as a volunteer. Do you want me to tell you about this? Because I think people, I would like to tell you.
Please
about this
do
one
share.
thing. When that pandemic hit, you know, everybody was tripping, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what? And out the clear blue sky, Miss Murray, I got a email. Was it an email? First, it was, it might have been something on Facebook at first. I didn't know this lady. And the lady said, "Can I talk to you? Can I please talk to you about something, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Sure." So I gave her my email. Like on Facebook, she sent me a messenger. A friend of mine on Facebook had recommended me to do an event. The event was the first drive-through distribution that we did here.
Yes.
It was in Glenville. That was in June of 2020.
Yes.
The lady sent me an email and I couldn't believe it. But she wasn't talking about no money. Now you have to understand, I'm a professional event planner. That's what I do, right? I've been doing that since 2000. Matter of fact, my first event I did over at Forest Hill Park. Here,
Okay.
Culture Fest is what it was called. But let me get back to this thing. So the lady sent me a letter, and her name is Jeanette Hannah Ruiz. She was in Washington, D.C. I've never even met the lady. We didn't talk on the phone for 2 years. And but her sister lives on the west side. And she said, she sent me this letter, and it said, we're looking for somebody who can organize this event. And then she showed me the numbers of all of these products and things, like 100,000 pounds of this and 100. I'm like, what? But I know we need it, so I don't want to say no. I can do it.
Turn it down.
And guess what? It needs to be done in 2 weeks. So I put it together because I know a lot of people. So I just called. That's when I called y'all.
Reached out.
On the list.
Reached out.
I just started calling everybody. And I just called everybody. Everybody. You know me, everybody. And I'm talking about something. Is that my friend? I just saw a friend of mine. And so but the organization was the Bay Good Foundation.
Okay.
That's Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles.
Yes.
Right? Tina Knowles Lawson now.
Yes.
And they have their own Bay Good Foundation. And they donated $6 million to Matthew 25 Ministries.
Wow.
Which is an international charitable organization. So these people calling me. And you know, I had to say, oh, of course. I ain't even thought about it.
Look, I told you how your name gets tossed around.
I couldn't believe it. I said it was God because I'm like, how do these people just get me? But anyway, that's how it started, Miss Murray. And these people, I'm telling you, they sent me 2,500 kits. And the kit is with the bag or tote with the supplies in it.
Okay.
It was so much. I did 3 events at the same time, simultaneously. I had one at the new East Side Market in Glenville. Okay. I had one at May Dugan on the west side, and then I had one over on the south side at oh God, what's the name of it? Where Dr. Paul Hill was the executive director over there on Shaker Boulevard.
Was it a center or
it's
some type of center?
I can't think of this name of this place. It's right there on Shaker Boulevard. Anyway, so I did at the same time. I drove to the west side. I came back to Glenville. I went over to the Shaker. Came back to Glenville. It was just a crazy day, and everybody was volunteering. But I'm gonna tell you what happened as a result of that, Miss Murray. I did it again. I did another one around on my mother's birthday, which is October 30th. I did another one in Glenville. And y'all was doing them here when y'all could, when y'all had the capacity to get y'all stuff away. To do about 2 or 3 a year. And I said, oh my God. Something told me to just see if I could just get a grant or something. So I did. So I got a little grant. I don't know, that grant might have been about $3,000 to just, I added like socks and hats. Yeah. For my second one I did in Glenville. So I had socks, scarves, gloves, and hats. And all the hygiene supplies and whatnot. That was Neighborhood Connection grant. And then I'm thinking this thing gonna be over, the pandemic, but it wasn't. Correct. So I came back to Cleveland. I had been in Georgia for a while doing some political stuff, volunteering at first, but wound up getting paid. And I found out that, well, the pandemic was still going on. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, what am I gonna do? You know?
What else can I do?
Because I can't keep doing this by myself. Right. So I reached out to Neighborhood Connections. They're actually my fiscal agent right now because I don't have a 501c3 per se myself. So I reached out to them and I said, listen, because what I was doing, I was still getting some supplies and giving them to people. I had hooked up the Murders Taylor. Yeah. So Murders Taylor started giving out the supplies, you know. And then I said, you know what? I'm seeing some of my friends out here doing this, but they buying the supplies. I'm like, why y'all buying these supplies? I mean, I can get you a whole 18-wheeler truck for you. Yes. You know. And so I called Neighborhood Connections. I said, you know what? We need to come together, a group of us. I know some people who's doing this, and let's create a situation where we can continue to pass out these hygiene supplies. Girl, next thing I know, we got a $100,000 grant. I'm talking about, I applied, let me see, that was like in February. By April, I had a $100,000 grant. Not just me, because I had about 20 people I had pulled in with you. And so that's what happened. So we got the grant, a 6-month grant. I got a $100,000 for 6 months. Then I got another $10,000 from my fiscal agents because we had a lot of stuff going on. We had to rent a warehouse for 6 months. Yeah. We had to hire people part time.
So you had to have a vision as well.
I did have a vision.
Okay, right. Yeah. You had to. You couldn't just be given a large amount of money and then you try to figure out, scurry around what to do. You had to have a vision, I had a vision. In regards to what to do.
Exactly. Well, listen, I say, if you're passionate about something, I'm passionate about helping my people. I'm very passionate about, I love black people. I love all people, but I love my people because I'm black. And I'm saying that not to be funny, but I know that we need help. You know, Cleveland, East Cleveland is very underserved. Yeah. So here I am, I'm able to bring in millions of dollars worth of supplies. People might think I'm bragging, but I'm not. I mean, it's real. I ain't got to brag. I mean, this is really what's happening. These people have sent me millions of dollars worth of supplies that I just give away.
And you were able to do what you needed to do. So how long do you think you'll be volunteering and serving your community? Forever?
Probably as long as I can breathe. Because I really enjoy what I do. I feel good when I'm helping others. Because you know, I suffer from depression. I don't really suffer from it now as much, but I was. Because I lost my house, all kinds of stuff went on. My son got in trouble, all kinds of things. So I went through some hell, I'm gonna say that. I went through a lot, right? And I'm getting older. So I have to do things that I enjoy. I'm only doing what I enjoy. I'm not doing nothing
other than that.
If I don't want to do it, I don't do it. If I don't like to do it, I ain't doing it. And if I enjoy it, I'll do it for free.
Well, you know what? You brought up a couple of points because mental illness is big and it's on the rise, and that's whether it's depression, anxiety, PTSD, or whatever. But something that can help deter your depression is if you take your mind off of yourself and help another group or another organization or volunteer. That's something good. And also knowing that if your mental state needs help, being able to go and get that necessary help and energy. You gotta have the energy to do what you do. You know, so that includes being mentally and physically healthy.
It does, because you can't be moping and, you know.
Yeah, sleeping.
I am actually what do you call those people? I think I got ADD. What's that? When you like hyper? I believe I got it.
But you utilize it well.
Yeah, I do. A lot of people can't keep up with me. Most people, I ain't trying to be funny, because I am I'm a multitasker, and I'm not gonna say I'm the best strategic person, but I know how to organize. I've been doing this for over 20 years,
Long time.
so I know what I'm doing. And so when I come to you with something, I already have a vision,
Correct.
and I already have a way that I want to do it. That's why a lot of times when I do projects, I have to do them by myself because people.
You know what your vision
you gotta be
is.
right.
You just right.
Yeah.
Now, Tammy, I'm so glad we finally had this
Me too.
opportunity to sit down and talk. And in the future, I would love for you. I know your connection with the library will be around for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But I would love to have you back to share some more of this valuable information.
Anytime. You know, that girl just called me on the phone, honey.
Okay.
Because listen, I had a major thing we had yesterday, and I had the councilman up there, Kevin Conwell volunteering. I had Michael Hauser from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District volunteering. I'm talking about doing physical.
Well, you know what? So you're also very resourceful.
You got to be.
You gotta be. Now, she gave us a lot of pointers about getting into volunteering and what it takes to be a volunteer. So on that note, we want to thank you. We want to thank Miss Tammy for joining us for the community conversation, and be safe.